Trump will be in the UK for a state visit this week at probably one of the most important times in our history, because it comes at a time where just yesterday Donald Trump called Russia the aggressor, the first time ever, and it comes as Russia keeps on violating NATO airspace. And to quote Zelensky during his nightly speech, he says, "Now, a week before the General Assembly, President Trump will be in Europe. Our work with the leaders of European countries is very active so that we're all coordinated and are really ready to reach a decision to put pressure onto Russia," saying that these decisions still need to be made. As you may know, Donald Trump has been warming up to EU countries, saying, yeah, Russia is not budging here. Putin, I can't change his mind. I obviously don't have that connection that he thought he did, end the war within 24 hours. And Trump has been begging EU countries to put more tariffs and sanctions onto Russia and China and to have them stop buying the Russian oil. So Zelensky in his speech is kind of saying, hey, Trump, you're here, you're meeting with EU and other leaders. Let's make sure we're all together on all these sanctions and or tariffs. Adding that if there is no truly tangible response from the world for Russia's war, if sanctions and tariffs are not postponed, if the Russian army launches drones with impunity even over Poland, Putin will continue to perceive this as permission to fight. Then he also added in that we, meaning Ukraine, expect decisions from the United States in regards to patriots. And then added in the nugget that there's still a proposal on the table regarding drones from Ukraine to the United States. But ultimately, this meeting, which is going to be between Trump and the king and Trump and the prime minister, we could see them whisper in his ear, look, you've tried everything. It didn't work. It's time to fully come together, and we finally put an end to what Putin is doing inside of Ukraine. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below. I'll be sure to keep you updated, so please do share my videos and follow me for more.
The UK is preparing for its biggest security operation in years, with the US President touching down tomorrow for a visit full of pomp and ceremony with a side of diplomatic engagements. Trump has a well-known affinity for the royal family and will become the first president honoured with 2 state visits. But security fears will linger over the trip, with the assassination of Trump ally Charlie Kirk last week prompting further protections, including snipers, drones and police teams patrolling the River Thames. The itinerary includes a carriage procession, meeting with the King and Queen, as well as William and Kate, a fighter jet flyover and a royal banquet. One royal not invited is Prince Andrew, as the palace and the White House try to avoid further talk about convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Trump and Keir Starmer will then head to Chequers, the Prime Minister's country residence, for talks about the war in Ukraine, China and economic relations. The trip has already proven divisive among the British population, with a survey finding 44% of people say they think the visit should be cancelled, compared to just 40% who wanted to go ahead. Protests organised by the Stop Trump coalition are scheduled for Wednesday, with thousands expected to take to the streets.
And so if you live in the UK, you may finally have the opportunity to give a genuine fuck you to Trump. As guess what? This Wednesday the 17th, he is flying over to the UK, and you may actually have a chance to see him. You see, this Wednesday, Trump will be in Windsor Castle and actually will receive a carriage procession alongside a military honour guard. Now, typically, state visits are meant to symbolise the unity between 2 nations, but if you even had an ounce of an idea of what the average person within this country thinks about Trump, you will see and understand that this could not be further from the case. Nobody wants him here. And guess what? That's being manifested as the Stop Trump coalition is already calling for a mass demonstration throughout the entirety of London on the 17th of September. Now, this will assemble at 2 p.m. at Portland Place, with the rally actually taking place in Parliament Square at 5 p.m. You see, Trump's political style and policies are often seen as authoritarian by most people. And with him coming to the UK alongside Keir Starmer having no backbone, we the British people do not want him to have any sort of influence over our politics, because we are actually at the advantage right now to be able to look at America like a crystal ball and realize that is not the future that we want to embark on. And so this demonstration on the 17th of September may be that massive fuck you to the Cheeto path that we all want to desperately give. And so all I have to say is, are you going? Because I know for a fact I am. See you there.
The President of the United States, Donald Trump, will be in the UK this week for a state visit. He and his wife, First Lady Melania Trump, will arrive on Tuesday evening and stay until Thursday. It will be his second state visit to the UK, making him the first US president ever to be invited twice. On Wednesday, he'll meet with the Prince and Princess of Wales at Windsor Castle before receiving a formal welcome by the King and Queen and joining a traditional state banquet. On Thursday, President Trump will meet with Sir Keir Starmer at the Prime Minister's official country home in Buckinghamshire called Chequers.
While deflecting attention from controversies, Trump arrives on Tuesday for a visit including royal pageantry, investment talks, and trade agreements. The focus will be on deals, including a $10 billion package in energy and technology and a transatlantic task force to boost financial cooperation. British Finance Minister Rachel Reeves and US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent are expected to announce partnerships in civil nuclear power, defence technology and science. Olivia O'Sullivan of Chatham House says the UK aims to keep the visit deal-focused, steering clear of contentious issues.
We know that the UK government is keen to keep the focus of this state visit on deals, partnerships that are focused on benefits for the UK and the UK economy. They'll probably try to steer the conversation away from knottier issues like Ukraine or the UK's stated intention to potentially recognise the state of Palestine in a few weeks at the UN General Assembly.
Starmer, under pressure after sacking Peter Mandelson as US ambassador over Epstein ties, will be hoping to showcase his close relationship with Trump as a benefit to Britain.
Breaking news. Donald Trump has landed in the UK for his unprecedented second state visit. The cameras are going to show you handshakes, royal pageantry and smiling photo ops, but what is actually really going on behind closed doors? Let's talk about it. See, on the surface, this is a spectacular. Trump is welcomed at Windsor Castle by King Charles. The ceremonial banquets, military salutes, and all wrapped in tradition and symbolism. The headlines will call it history in the making. But that is just the stage play. The public gets the red carpet whilst the real business is kept private. And it's not just about diplomacy, it's about deals, power and control. Okay, so behind the beautiful walls of Windsor Castle over the next few days, the UK and the US are going to be signing more than £10 billion worth of agreements. Big tech firms like Google, OpenAI and Nvidia are carving up the future of AI, semiconductors and data infrastructure. This is energy giants pushing nuclear pacts. Google alone have just pledged almost $5 billion for UK data centres. It sounds like progress on paper, doesn't it? But ask yourself, who is really gaining control over this data? Who writes the rules for the AI and energy when deals are linked in secret rooms and not in any sort of public forum? And also, they won't tell you in the transcript that there is also security chiefs meeting up to discuss NATO's Eastern Front, Russian drones, and the Middle East. You will never hear about this on the news because the real policies are being hammered out where the cameras aren't allowed. Whilst the media talks about royal dinners, the UK is being locked deeper into the US tech and defence supply chains. The future of your energy and your internet, even your freedom online, it's being shaped into these private talks, not in Parliament, not in Congress, but in Windsor Castle. So just remember, what you're seeing on the TV is just theatre. It's the world stage, the banquets, the smiles, the headlines. It's all a distraction because the truth lives behind the closed doors. This visit isn't just history, it's a reset. And unless we start asking the real questions, we'll only see the show that they give us, never the actual script behind the scenes. But obviously, once again, for the sensory reasons, this was just for entertainment, and I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
Having Donald Trump in a positive frame of mind means that the UK has a better chance, probably a better bilateral relationship with the United States and any other country in the world.
Is still controversial. The glamour of the castle cannot erase everything that's been going on recently around Jeffrey Epstein, the geopolitical turmoil, and everything that Trump has said in the past.
This is a vanity trip.
There is no doubt the visit will give Donald Trump the memories and the pictures that he wants.